Afternoon and welcome on behalf of Stony Brook University. We'd like to welcome you to this afternoon's program about Stony Brook University admissions, the Stony Brook Advantage, resources for your success. My name is Cheryl Chambers and I am the Associate Dean from Multicultural Affairs at the university. And this afternoon, we're just so delighted that you're here to spend this time with us. The way that we would like to proceed with this program is to give you information from four areas of the university that are very much involved with our students and very much involved in supporting the admissions process here at the university. You will hear from a number of guest speakers who will tell you about not only their areas, but how students are engaged in their areas and how students can work with their areas to develop their plans for success as members of our Stony Brook community. But before I proceed, I'd just like to remind everyone that during this time together, there may be some questions that you may have for us. And if there are questions that are related to COVID-19 or related to the admissions process in any way, we want to invite you to please put those questions in the chat at the bottom of your screen. Just click on chat and you can ask those questions, but please direct them to either Judy Berhanen, Kristen, or Christina from the admissions office, and they will take those questions and we'll get back to you. If you do have specific questions for our guest speakers this afternoon, you can also use the chat tool to do that and direct those questions to L'Oreal Ellington, also from the admissions. So anyone who has admissions by their name, you can direct your questions to them, okay? All right, so let us begin. Again, I am in the Office of Multicultural Affairs on campus, and I just want to take some time to tell you a bit about our office because we work within the areas of diversity, inclusion, and equity on campus, partnering with many different departments and many different areas to really ensure, to help to ensure that the university not only is a welcoming place for all students, faculty, and staff, but is a place where diversity is valued and appreciated, and also where everyone can learn from each other across the many differences that we have, but also across the many commonalities that we have. So Multicultural Affairs provides a number of programs and activities and also now virtual activities, I should say, and advocacy, as well as opportunities for students to develop their leadership skills and really become engaged in university life. And we do that in a variety of different kinds of ways. Because you see here at Stony Brook, and I think this really is what makes our university unique, is that everyone here is committed to promoting diversity and inclusion, so that no student ever feels that they are not supported and that they're not a part of this great university that we have. And we want every student to be not only be successful, but really go far beyond that, and to develop themselves in ways that are going to benefit them, not only while they are attending Stony Brook, but also beyond that. So this is basically what the office does. So we provide a whole host of opportunities for students to be able to get involved. We connect with, for example, within our student affairs division here on campus, we connect students with opportunities for leadership, engagement in student clubs and organizations, campus committees, and decision-making bodies, engagement in programs and campus activities that promote diversity. We celebrate diversity throughout the entire year with diversity-themed programs, such as Black History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month, for example, Women's History Month. And so we connect students to even smaller communities where they can learn from each other, but also contribute on a whole to, to the university. So although we do have so many students here, and it's a large university, it's really a community of communities. And through the undergraduate colleges that we have, as well as through our commuter student services and off-campus living areas, students find ways of getting engaged. And we know that students who are participants in university life are more likely than ever to really be successful. So that is what we do. We foster this, and we also provide conferences to learn about diversity, to also learn about ways that one can foster inclusion and be inclusive in how not only students approach their schoolwork, but also how they connect with the faculty and the staff, because inclusion is really very much what we're all about. But there also are other ways that students can get involved through the office. There are 2 programs that are specifically designed to support and assist African American and Latino males, as well, and also African American and Latino females on campus. So really powerful communities, and get connected to campus resources to assist them academically, but also assist them in their career development and personally, in other ways. And that is the Stony Brook chapters of the Student African American Brotherhood National Organization and the Student African American Sisterhood National Organization. So students can apply to participate in these chapters, where they learn some skills that are going to really assist them while they're here, but when they move beyond their Stony Brook years in their careers or in graduate school or whatever they pursue. But this appreciation, again, for the diversity that we have here and the support of it, this is also one way through the SAS and SA programs that students can benefit, while also supporting and assisting each other within the communities that we have. Other things that our office does is it's really about providing these opportunities for students through the connections and partnerships with areas throughout the campus. If students have concerns related to their academics, then we ensure that they are referred to or are able to seek out the help that they need. And that could be tutoring. That could also be with a specific academic program, or an opportunity for a job, or opportunity for them to get some advice and support, let's say from our Career Center, for example, and even to speak with our Alumni Relations Office. So the network that we have here, and this is the one thing that I appreciate about Stony Brook, is incredible. And all of us here are committed to making certain that students from our diverse populations are part of that network, and they get the resources they need and the assistance that they need. And then finally, I'd like to tell you about 2 cultural centers that we have on campus. Because again, I was talking about our community and how important it is that students are connected with community. We have a LGBTQ services area that's part of Multicultural Affairs that supports our LGBTQ communities through the clubs and organizations that represent those different populations, as well as through specific programming educational programming as well as social and cultural related programs. And so the center that we have on campus is on the west side of our campus and is a space where those different communities and their partners and allies and supporters, come together for, a variety of reasons. And the center is open now and it is virtual. And I would invite you to go to our LGBTQ services or center website, and you can learn about the many different activities that are happening even now, in that space, as well. And then the second center, or the other center we have, is the Unity Cultural Center. And this is a center that has a long-standing tradition here at Stony Brook University and is, again, really a place where diversity is celebrated, where activities occur, where students can learn across different cultures and develop the skills to communicate effectively and work successfully with people who are not like themselves, which is very much, I think, everybody, to tell you the truth. So yeah, so these are ways that students can get involved and can learn and can grow, and also can really thrive in an environment that we have here on campus that is one that really is characteristic of diversity. Diversity is what we do. I mean, it really is. And it's one of the things that I'm most proud of. I'll just share with you that I've been working at this university for decades, but I won't tell you how many. And one of the things that I enjoy the most is that I work amongst diverse colleagues, different perspectives, different backgrounds, and diverse students. And I think it's really what makes Stony Brook University very special. And it's something that I'm quite certain that any new student will enjoy and will also really be excited about when they come here. Yeah. So that's an overview of Multicultural Affairs Office, but I'd like for us to move on. And I'd like to introduce you to Liz Gonzalez, Program Coordinator of our Collegiate Science and Technology Entry Program, also known as CSTEP. And so Liz will tell you about that program.
Thank you, Cheryl. So I'm so honored to be here. This is a great space for you guys to really see how diverse our campus is and how really well connected we are. I'm among a few really great people to know, honestly. So if you see these faces, look for them on campus. They are really good people to know. They are so well connected. But a little bit about CSTEP. So I'm actually a product of CSTEP, so I love it. Everything from like when I first started as an incoming freshman until I graduated, I left college, I did some social work, and I came back because it's such a great program. I'll tell you really what the purpose is. So our purpose is to increase the number of underrepresented students within STEM and licensed professions. CSTEP is actually statewide. There's CSTEPs in many, many schools throughout New York. There's also STEP, which is the high school version. A lot of students have been through the STEP program, so they know a little bit about that one, but CSTEP is the collegiate version. We actually are a very big community within Stony Brook. It's about 400 or so students that are involved in CSTEP, and we are really a family. We take pride in that because there's not a lot of people on campus, or when you find a community on campus that really accepts you for who you are and really like takes note into like who you want to be and who you want to become and pushes you there, like that's something to say. So that's kind of what we try to do. We have a student advisory board that is made up of about 3 freshmen, 3 sophomores, juniors, seniors, commuters, transfers, and we take them all together. We get in a room and we plan. We plan for the year. We know what they want to see, who they want to talk to, who they want to connect with. We actually have had Kimberly Dixon in our etiquette dinner, and she's been great. So we connect. We like to connect. We push our students to go to the ASCC, which you'll hear about in a bit. And we do a lot of things that really keep the campus connected. So some of the things that are coming for us is a summer program. We usually have a summer program that's on campus, but because of everything going on, we've moved everything online. So don't fret, it's still 6 credits, 6 credits of online learning, 6 weeks. It's all of July. So if anyone's interested, please let me know. My email is going to be at the end. We will also be getting a letter sent out for anyone that's actually eligible. So if you see that come through, look it up. We have a peer mentor program. So usually our peer mentor program runs in the fall into the spring, but because of everything going on, we've decided to pilot a program in the summer. So this is actually really big news, and we're so excited to do it. I actually run the mentor program, and we run it as a class. We meet and we have discussions, and it's really great because every year we see more and more students want to get involved. That is upcoming as well. Some things that we already do are individual advising. So we'll listen to you. Sometimes you don't find that on such a big campus. So here's a place where you can definitely find that, and we'll do it. We'll talk you through. Research, scholarships, internship opportunities. Those are some of the things that you can definitely find with us. We have someone, Carrie Ann Miller. She is our experiential learning guru. She is an expert, and she is so cool. She definitely is the one that we send our students to. She's within our department. She works really closely with us. So Carrie Ann is like the go-to. Tutoring, ASTC has tutoring, but we also have like some review sessions that you might want to check out. TA opportunities because of our STEP program. Our STEP program are high school kids that come onto campus every Saturday. And right now they're not coming on campus. So we're doing everything through Zoom. They're doing Zoom classes, so you can still become a TA eventually. And that's a paid opportunity. It's also a credited opportunity, so keep an eye out for that. CSEP conference. Every year we do a CSEP conference. It's great. People present their research that they've been working on for so long, and they actually really get to connect with CSEP organizations from all over. So whether you're in CSEP at Stony Brook or you're in CSEP at NYU, you get to connect with those students. It's a great opportunity. Online right now, if you want to check out our Instagram, that's a really good way to keep connected with us. It's at SBUCSTEP. I'm sorry. Let me repeat that. At SBUCSTEP. That's a really great way to connect and know what's coming up. We actually have our student advisory board do takeovers. So you get to see a day in the life of a student at Stony Brook. And even right now, as like with all this going on, what are they doing? So they're doing online lives and takeovers and all this stuff. It's really great. They're doing videos for us. It's awesome. Okay, let's see. How can you get involved? So how can you get involved? We partner with admissions. I kind of said this already. We partner with admissions. They give us a list, and they basically are like the starting point of a great thing. So once you get a letter from us, it's an email. You look at the link, you apply, automatically apply. It's pretty easy to get in. Well, there's some requirements. Definitely look up the requirements. You have to be underrepresented student going into some profession, licensed profession, or you can qualify by the economic criteria as well. So if you want to just send me an email, hey, do I qualify? That's okay. You can totally do that. And I think that's pretty much all I have for you all. But it's been great talking, and I want to introduce you to Shannon Jane, who's going to talk about the ASTC, which is a really great resource on campus.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. So I'm Shannon Jane. I'm the director of the ASTC, which is the Academic Success and Tutoring Center. I'm just going to go over some of our main services, and then I'm also going to talk a little bit about how you can become a part of our center. So not only participate in our services, but also become a peer leader to help your classmates. So at the Academic Success and Tutoring Center, we have our main service is tutoring, but we have 2 different types of tutoring. The first one is course-based tutoring. So that's pretty much, when you hear the word tutoring, it's what you think, right? So you work with a peer tutor, and And with us, I say peer tutor because all of our tutors are students who did well in a class. They have a faculty recommendation on file, and they get trained by us to work either one-on-one or in small groups with students. So it's up to you. Most of our appointments are one-on-one, but if you learn better in a group, you can absolutely have a small group tutoring session. And our tutors work on concepts and they help you get a deeper understanding of what you're learning in class. So they're not going to work on, say, homework or tests or graded assignments. Instead, they're going to help you, again, get a deeper understanding of what you're working on and be able to apply that information so that you can work on the graded stuff on your own. So that is our first type of tutoring, that course base. And we offer anywhere from 65 to 85 different classes, depending on the semester and depending on our student staffing. Most of our classes are those entry-level math and science classes. Those are our highest demand because that's, you know, the base and the foundation so that you can move on to your upper division classes. To use our course-based tutoring, we have an online scheduling system. So you can go onto our website, we have an online scheduling system, and you're gonna book an appointment in advance. So you know you've secured that spot and you are meeting with a peer tutor. And in the beginning of the semester, we work with our students to help make those weekly appointments because we really want you working with the same tutor every single week so that you're building that relationship. So that's our first type of tutoring. Our second type of tutoring is called skill-based tutoring. So our skill-based tutors are peers, and they help you with things that the academic success strategies that you can use in any class. So it's not working on specific course content, but it's working on things like time management, note-taking skills, test-taking strategies, organization, goal setting. Those are always one-on-one because there's really something to say about personalizing those appointments. And you would schedule an appointment the same way you would schedule a course-based tutoring appointment. That same online scheduling system, it actually asks you, what are you looking for? Help with a specific course or help with academic success skills. And you can sign up for both. That's totally fine. And again, we like our students to meet on a weekly basis so that, again, you're building that relationship. So that's all about our peer tutoring. In addition to peer tutoring, we also have something called peer assisted learning, or PAL. So we have PAL for certain math classes right now. And basically what that means is we have PAL leaders who, again, are peers. They have done well in the class, they have faculty recommendations, but they also sit in on the class again this semester. And they figure out how the material is being taught this semester. They also work with a faculty member from the department every week to identify what students are struggling with this semester. Then they put together what we call collaborative learning sessions. And basically what that means is you, as a member of the class, can attend any of these sessions, and the leader will facilitate fun, engaging, academic activities that you are going to participate in with your classmates, whoever's attending. And it helps you get a deeper understanding of the material and apply what you're learning in class. So again, that's called PAL, and that's another one of our main services. And then we have another service. It's a little bit smaller. It's actually a course. It's called ASC 101, Practicing Engaging Presentations. So Practicing Engaging Presentations is a 6-week, 0 credit, I know that sounds weird, but I'll tell you why, public speaking course. Why it's not so weird is because it actually fulfills a speaking requirement. So at Stony Brook, one of the general education requirements is to work on your public speaking. So we created this very unique and small class for students, and it's for anybody who wants to work on their public speaking, whether you love public speaking or hate it, it's okay. This class is for you. There's only 9 students, 2 instructors, and it's a very welcoming, supportive, fun environment to practice public speaking. Now, in addition to, so those are the services that we, we oversee and we manage. We also have partnerships on campus to help kind of extend those services. So for instance, we partner with the residential tutoring centers. So we actually have all appointment-based tutoring. They have drop-in tutoring. So when our tutoring is over around 8 p.m., they actually open up and you can drop in and you don't need an appointment. And what's really great about that partnership is that we have the same exact requirements for our tutors, the same exact training, so you can expect the same type of tutoring regardless of where you're going, which center. So that's just one of our partnerships. We also participate in something called Star New York, which is online tutoring, and it's a partnership with other SUNY's campuses. So you can, get online tutoring for different courses and different classes, and you might be working with somebody from Stony Brook, or you might be working with somebody from another SUNY campus. So that's a really unique and wonderful service. And now during this time, all of our services are actually online. So we have moved to the online environment. We have one-on-one and small group tutoring sessions, both course-based and skill-based, all online right now. And even our PAL sessions have moved to Zoom, and it's working really well. The students are able to go into breakout rooms and still have fun, interactive activities. So now all of our services, aside from the class, are peer-led, right? So I mentioned that. So that is a really great way to be involved on the campus community and to become part of our center. And what's so wonderful about our positions is that so it's a student employment position, so you can get paid to help your peers, which feels great, but also to reinforce the information that you've learned throughout your time at Stony Brook. So as you get to that upper division kind of coursework, you're not forgetting the foundational material because you're working on it every day with your peers. So there's a lot of benefits to it. We have, we definitely have certain requirements, certain grade requirements and GPA requirements. All of that is on our website. So please look into that. I know at the end you're going to have, our contact information. Definitely look on our website. And if you have any questions, feel free to either give us a call or email, and we'll be able to answer those questions. So that is the Academic Success and Tutoring Center in a nutshell. And now I'd like to pass it to Kimberly Dixon. So she's the Director of Employer Engagement and Diversity Recruitment for the Career Center.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. And again, my name is Kimberly Dixon. I work at the Career Center, and I've been here for about 19 years. It'll be 20 years. And in all of that time, as you already heard from Cheryl Chambers in the very beginning, Stony Brook has been committed to diversity and inclusion in everything that they do. So I'm going to share with you what we do at the Career Center to help students from the time you walk on campus as a freshman until you go to your grave. So we're all service career center that helps students for your entire life. You're always, part of the Stony Brook University community, which is phenomenal. We are a centralized office that helps all 26,000 plus students on campus. We are the place that has tentacles and can help students in their career interests and help you figure out what you want to do regardless of your major, regardless of what you think you may want to do, or even if you don't know what you want to do. Our office is here to help guide you in many different ways. We meet with students individually, one-on-one, and even in this virtual stage right now, we're still meeting with students individually. We have small group sessions that we call meetups, where you can meet with like-minded students and learn about particular career paths or even get prepped for internships and full-time jobs. We host a host of different type of workshops, from helping you figure out what to do with LinkedIn to, as you heard earlier, learning business etiquette and dining etiquette, to really understanding how to present yourself in front of an employer for future opportunities on campus and off campus. We also spend a great deal of time. You're going to be a freshman walking in, and even your parents who are listening may be wondering, how do we help students as soon as they come in? We have several different assessments that allow students to kind of learn more about who they are, because we come from the standpoint here at the Career Center and on campus that every student has a seed of greatness inside of them. So our goal at the Career Center is to figure out how to help you understand what that seed of greatness is and how that's going to fit out there as a career, and how to connect the dots with what you are doing with your major to what you might want to do with your career. Or even if you love a particular major, it may have nothing to do with your career path, and that's okay too. We're here to make you feel awesome and to help you down that path. So we do help with career explorations, and we help you along the way while you're here at Stony Brook. Gaining experience is really important before you leave here. And so we show you how you can gain experience based on your interests. We help you figure out if you need an on-campus job when you first get here in September, whether it's virtual or not, right? And you need to make some income and really enhance your skill sets while you're on campus working in a department. We help you to figure out what kind of on-campus jobs you can get. And then we also help you if you need to get volunteer experience, if you need to, along the way, get an internship, get some research experience. Also, when it's time to graduate, your full-time job. Well, we're the office that can help you make those kind of connections. And we do those in different ways. I've already talked to you about being able to connect with individuals for individual appointments as well as small group. But in addition to that, we have specialized events for recruitment, right? I know the parents out there want to know, how is my child going to get the job that they want? And that's phenomenal. So we host recruitment events that are industry specific. And then, I want to take some time, and that would include job fairs and on-campus interviews and site visits with employers and making connections with employers, and also alumni, connecting with alumni that may work in the field that you want. You've already heard a little bit about C-STEP's mentoring program, and the Career Center also provides mentorship for with alumni and friends of Stony Brook for students, so that you can actually talk to people who are doing the thing that you think you want to do when you graduate. So I want to take a moment and talk about, how does diversity fit into everything that we do? So part of my role at the Career Center is to connect with employers who have diversity recruiting initiatives, and to also make sure that we have the best qualified diverse students that any other school that can go out into the marketplace. And we do that in several different ways. We have specific diversity recruiting events on campus throughout the fall and the spring semesters every year. And we do have what we call signature programs that allow us to work with underrepresented and underserved students to help get them ready for the marketplace. One of these programs is called the Diversity Professional Leadership Network. This is a program that's 1 year that allows you to work with a host company, to get a mentor from that host company, to learn about what they do, and to learn what the business environment may be, regardless of your career interests, and also to have ongoing weekly workshops that help get you career ready. Prep for interviews, and also how to practice your pitch. What do you say to an employer in a networking environment? We help you with all of those things. We also have other programs that are more specialized, some more that work with programs that Cheryl Chambers has already spoken to. So we have a special LGBTQ initiatives with career prep. We work with the veterans as well, and helping them to connect with employers that specifically want to recruit veterans. We help students who are interested specifically. We have a program focused on women in STEM disciplines to help them be ready for the workplace. And the last thing I want to mention is the work that we do with employers who have specific roles for students with disabilities, and how to get them prepped for the workplace as well. So when you think about Stony Brook, and you think about your opportunities and your own backgrounds, and whether or not there's a place here for you, and whether or not, because we all come to college because we want to make sure that we're ready for the workplace, or we want to be ready to start our own business, you have a place here in the Career Center to help you figure that out wherever you are right now in your thinking, and the steps on how to get there. So thanks a lot, and I'm going to turn it back over to Cheryl Chambers.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Kimberly. We introduced ourselves to you, but we want to make sure that you do have our, contact information. So we're going to provide that to you so that you will be able to see that. Just a moment. Okay. All right, so so while you're taking a look at that, we also want to take any questions that you might have. So if you have any specific questions for either myself or Liz or Shannon or Kimberly, feel free to use that chat tool that you have to forward those questions to L'Oreal Ellington so that we'll be able to respond to them. And again, if you have specific questions related to the admissions process, you can send those questions to any one of us who have the admissions by our names. That's L'Oreal or Kristen or Christina as well.
So hello, everyone. My name is L'Oreal Ellington. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at Stony Brook University. So throughout the presentation, many of you have been submitting your questions about a variety of different areas in regards to the admissions process, different questions in regards to our individual departments that were able to present it, which was all great. So I just want to address some of the questions that were already proposed. And our first question is for admissions for Christina. One of our questions that one of our students had submitted is, how do they secure their enrollment at this time?
Hi, everybody. Like she said, my name is Christina LaFaso. I'm a senior admissions advisor at Stony Brook. And basically the way to secure your enrollment, so depending on if you are a general admissions student, you would have to go into your Solar account, which you would have gained access to. And in your Solar account is how you would accept your offer and submit your new student preference form. Same thing goes for any EOP students, if we have EOP students in the audience today. So under new students, you would choose to accept or decline your EOP offer and submit your new student preference form as well. Now, something to note is that general admission students do have to pay their deposits in order to go ahead and secure those enrollments by May 1st, which is our commitment deposit deadline. And for EOP students, those deposits are not required in order to secure your enrollment. So just keep that in mind as well.
Okay, thank you, Christina. Another question that we have, and this is for you, Dean Chambers, within the Office of Multicultural Affairs, is we talked about a lot of different opportunities that we have available to our students, but how can students find out about getting involved in those cultural clubs and different organizations when they are on campus?
Okay. Well, I mentioned, the powerful partnerships that we have. So OMA works very closely with the Office of Student Engagement and Activities. And it's in that office that the nearly 400 student clubs and organizations are advised, and their programming efforts, be they virtual or on campus, are supported. And it's also through that office that there are leadership conferences and a whole bevy of opportunities to be connected. At the beginning of each semester, there are information fairs about the student clubs and organizations and opportunities to get connected. And I must add also that amongst the nearly 400 groups that we have on at Stony Brook, about 100 of them are culturally based or ethnic interest based. And so that within itself is just a lot of opportunity. So either through OMA or through student engagement and activities, that's certainly a great gateway for students to get involved with student life. Along with that is our commuter student and off-campus living office, because many students who attend Stony Brook don't live on campus. I mean, they commute because they, live relatively close by. And so there are opportunities there, either serving as a commuter student assistant or becoming an active member of the Commuter Student Association. That's ways as well. But one of the things that a lot of students don't think about generally until they get here, maybe, and they're here maybe a year or two, is that there's also opportunities to be involved through your academic departments, through faculty and staff committees. students here at Stony Brook are involved in so many things. It can be governance and decision making, or how an office runs. I mean, I have a group of students that give me feedback about how we can make Multicultural Affairs Office better for all students. And so those are ways that they connect, but it's also ways that they support each other and help each other as students in, on campus. And so as a student, you can get involved in all these things. I think that the big question here in terms of involvement is, what do you choose? Because there's so much to select from, and so many ways of connecting and developing relationships, that there's just, there is a, just a lot out there and a lot to do. And we help students from the moment that they come to campus for orientation or connect with us for that, straight through, as Kimberly Dixon mentioned, to graduation and even far beyond that too. So.
Thank you. Another question that we have, and Shannon, maybe you can address this within the Academic Success and Tutoring Center, is what type of support services or additional tutoring options do we have available for students who may need additional, academic disabilities, and they may need some of those additional services. So what type of services do we provide for students that may be seeking that additional services in regards to possibly having a disabilities?
Yeah, sure. So we have a center on our campus called SASSY. And so students can actually register with them. And so if there are any special kind of support systems, or, like extra time on exams, those types of needs, that SASSY can actually help students with that. We work very closely with SASSY. So I know with us at the Academic Success and Tutoring Center, sometimes, students require different environments to help with their learning. And if we can make those accommodations, we absolutely will. So, again, I think that's kind of the beauty of Stony Brook, is that we are a large institution, but we have so many different student support services around campus who talk with each other and who, know about those resources for their students. So if a student maybe didn't know about us, I know if they're connecting with SASSY, they're going to now know about us because we're connecting with that office all the time. So absolutely, we have that resource on campus. And what's great about that, again, is that SASSY is reaching out to different areas on campus to make sure that the students are getting the support that they need.
Oh, perfect. Another question that we have, and Kimberly, you can please address this, is that you spoke briefly about the DPLM program. So if you could just share some of the different internships or experiences that some of the students were able to actually participate in.
Yes, absolutely. So through this program, which has been in existence for over 12 years, we've had some really awesome host companies, from Canon USA to Target to Henry Schein to, so a host of other companies that participate, Geico, Enterprise. So these students who participate in this program go on to get really great internships with the host companies and or with other companies that they are put in front of. This is a specialized program that's geared to getting this group of students in front of as many companies as possible for opportunities. So we've had students that have come out of this program, and I'm thinking of one right now that had an internship with Lockheed Martin right after he participated in this program, and then the year after is now full-time working for Google, which is really exciting. We've had students that come who last year who were working with KPMG, which is one of the top 4 accounting firms, and she secured an internship while she was in the program with them, and went on and worked for the summer with them, and then in the winter worked as an intern for PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, which is another top 4 accounting firm. So this, again, this program is designed to get these students prepared and ready. They already have the greatness in them. We just help you get it out there so employers know and want to hire you.
Thank you. Another question, and this is in regards to admissions. One of the questions that we received was in regards to the health forms. So now that students are those who are already have enrolled, and now they're getting to the process of the health forms, how do they fill out the health forms, and where do they submit them?
Great question. So something that we're doing this year in order to maintain the safety of our incoming students is we have delayed the need for those forms until July 1st. So there's no need to rush out to your doctors or worry or stress about getting those forms filled out or getting a physical. You do have time to submit everything. Now, the health forms can be submitted virtually. There's no need to come to campus or even mail anything. There's no need to kind of go out of your way. So everything can be uploaded right into our health portal, which can be found on our website, and you will likely be emailed in order to do so. And once you get something called a net ID, now your net ID is a single sign-on that will be issued to you to get into all these different types of portals and throughout your time, not only when you're starting with us, but really until you graduate. And you use that net ID to get into the health portal or to get into the housing portal. And the health portal is where you would be updating all of this information.
Thank you. And this question is for you, Liz. So we know that STEM majors can be very challenging. So what are some important skills that you would like to share with students that do have an interest in going into like the fields of engineering or even some of our other STEM programs within our health sciences, our biologies, and different things like that?
So a lot of our students, they're going into those fields, and the skills that they really have, a lot of them are they're patient, and they're actually really studious. Like they're doing what they gotta do. Like every single day, they're pushing harder and harder. They are very motivated because they have to be. Like if they want something, they're gonna push as hard as they can to achieve it. They are people that are very they're task driven, because again, there's a lot of things that have to be done if you're in those fields. They're hard, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They're hard, but you can do it. So if you really want it, you're gonna make yourself a list of things that you have to do, and you're gonna go for it. And we try to push our students in the best way possible through all of these activities that we have for them. We have a lot of workshops that build up those skills. We have a lot of general body meetings that we talk about this over and over, because we really want them to get where they want to go. So those are some of the things that our students are doing. And we actually have a lot of students that it not only are they doing engineering, for example, but they're also involved on campus. And one of our students right now, she was in the homecoming royalty, but she's an engineering student. It's great. And you see how they are able to manage all of these different things and put all their skills together, and they drive exactly where they want to go. So it's doable.
Thank you. And this question is for you, Kimberly. So we have some students that are coming in with their major, knowing what they want to do. And there are some students who are coming in undecided, which we all know is perfectly fine. So for a student who is undecided, what are some resources within the Career Center that can help them as they're actually trying to find their actual major?
Yes, so there are a couple of things. One, we do suggest that students come to specialized events we have, helping them to pick their major as it relates to career. And sometimes students will pick something that's related and sometimes they won't. But we have specialized programs throughout the year for them to come to. We also suggest that students come and partake in the one-on-one and small group sessions where we have conversations with them about what you're interested in and why you would want to choose one major over another. So there are several ways that they can do that. Individual, contact with our office, but also specialized events. And right now, of course, we're doing those events and the one-on-ones in a virtual state, but they're just as effective.
Thank you. And then Shannon, we talked a lot about the tutoring options that we do have on campus. So when it does come to tutoring, we talked about how do students that have a strong passion for tutoring actually become tutors once they are on campus, as well as, in addition, how early can students start applying to those tutoring sessions?
Yeah, sure. So when it comes to applying to participate in the tutoring sessions, we open up our schedule. We usually send out a mass email or announcement. We'll post it on our website, but we usually open up our schedule the second week of classes. And then that's when everybody logs on. I mean, there's a high demand, and so we're a popular service. So we always encourage students, as soon as we open up our online scheduling system, go on and book those appointments. Don't wait until the middle of the semester when you're getting a couple of grades back and you're like, oh, maybe I should work with somebody. Do it now. Be proactive, because the students who are using our services not all of them are struggling, right? We do have students who are doing very well in the class, but want to have that one-on-one time that they've designated every week to talk with a peer who's done well in that class. So it's a really just great and supportive kind of service to take part in. So schedule those appointments as soon as our online scheduling system opens. When it comes to becoming a tutor, sure. So all of our tutors have taken the classes at Stony Brook. There are a couple of exceptions with math if you've placed out of certain classes. You can look on our website for that. But for the most part, students have taken the class at Stony Brook. They have a B+ or higher in the course, and they have a 3.2 cumulative GPA. In addition to that, they have a faculty recommendation for each course that they want to tutor. And then there's an application and interview process. If you have no tutoring experience, that's totally fine. We have a very, extensive tutor training program. It's actually recognized by the College Reading and Learning Association. We have 3 different levels of certification that our tutors work towards. And each level of certification comes along with a raise, so there's some motivation too. But we will train, all of our students to know what it's like to be a tutor, to have that personal relationship with their tutee, their personal professional relationship with their tutee, and to be able to hone those skills that they need to really help students think critically about the material and guide them through that learning process. So a student will have to have completed a whole semester here in order to apply to be a tutor, so that you have those grades on file. But what I recommend is when you get here and you really find a class that you love, you're doing really well in it, number 1, start going to office hours right away. You want to make sure that faculty member knows who you are, because when you ask for that recommendation at the end of the semester, you don't want that to be the first time that they're seeing you. So go into the office hours, make sure that they know who you are, and you can actually apply near the end of that semester, and then we'll wait until the grade post. And once that grade posts, if we see that you've met our requirements, we'll reach out to you and and start that process.
Thank you. And we are coming close to the end of our session, but we do have time for one more question, and this is going to be for admissions, Christina. So when should students start receiving information about meeting their advisor? When will they start receiving more information about advising, or how do they receive actually their orientation date?
So after the May 1st deadline, which is again our commitment deposit deadline, or commitment deadline, I should say, everyone needs to kind of put those deposits in if deposits are required, or just, accept our offer of admissions. Once that's in our system that you are committing to Stony Brook, you will get put kind of in line with our orientation office, and our orientation office will reach out to you sometime in May or June with dates for summer, different summer orientation dates. Now, this is going to be a little bit different than in most summers, where you would come to orientation 1 throughout the summer and meet with your academic advisor and your undergraduate college, and then at the end of the summer come in for orientation 2 and move-in dates and all of that. Something a little bit different this year is that there will be multiple orientation dates throughout the summer, throughout the months of May, June, July, and August. So your orientation will kind of happen over a lot of different types of virtual meetings, in which case you really do have to keep a lookout for those dates, and whatever you commit to, whatever date you get, please try and stick with that date as much as possible in order to ensure that you are going to be able to meet with your academic advisor at that time and choose your classes for the fall.
All right, perfect. So I want to thank our panelists once again. I want to thank all of you students for being here, for joining us and submitting your questions. At this time, I am going to throw it back to Dean Chambers. And once again, thank you so much and congratulations.
Oh, well, thank you so much, L'Oreal, and to all of our panelists as well. I guess one of the major points that we really want to make here with you this afternoon is that Stony Brook is really a unique place. the diversity here is like no other institution. I myself, I've worked at other colleges and universities, and I've spent most of my career here, most of the time here because of the diversity that is here. And as you have heard this afternoon, we have such incredible networks of offices and of faculty members and staff members who are dedicated to your success. And while maybe some students don't take a little bit of time to kind of figure out, you know, what that path looks like or what it should look like for them, we're here to help you to figure it out, to provide opportunities for not only learning while you're in class, but also learning while you're outside of class and developing skills, developing networks and connections and opportunities and internships and being a part of student life on campus and those leadership skills. I mean, all of this is what college should really be about. But we do this in a way where it's not cookie cutter. It's not that one size fits all. We take the time to understand each student's specific needs and interests and put you on that path and help you. Now, there is some work that you need to do on your part, of course, but we are so dedicated to doing our part. And from the point of admission to graduation and even beyond, it's a partnership. And so when you become our newest Sea Wolves here, we're just going to be so happy about that, because this is, this is what we do. This is Stony Brook, and this is what makes it such a special place. The diversity, the commitment to your success, to helping you to learn as much as you can while you're here, and to contribute also, to the university. You're very important to us, and we want you to know that. And we look forward to the fall semester, where all of you will be a part of this new community of communities, where you're going to not only be successful, but also really thrive and grow and just, be great, just really be great here. So with all of that said, I do want us to make sure that we have your contact information. And so we'll show you that screen again that has our departments and our different website addresses. I know if you want to take a picture of that, if you're able to, and you can contact any one of us. And we'll certainly be happy to get back to you. And if we're not able to answer any questions that you might have after this program, we certainly will make sure that you do, get a response from us or get a response through the admissions office. Okay. All right. Again, I'd like to thank our speakers for this afternoon, Liz Gonzalez from the C-STEP program, Shannon Jane from Academic Success and Tutoring Center, and Kimberly Joy Dixon from our Career Center. And certainly our hosts from the admissions office. We want to thank you as well for listening and being a part of this program. And we certainly wish you all the best. If you have any questions, again, we are here for you. And I'm just going to say welcome to Stony Brook, because I believe that every single person that has been a part of this program, that we're going to see you in the fall, or we're going to hear from you before you enroll in the fall. So thank you again.